Wait, you know you can take a cutting of a plant,
Yeah.
plant it,
Yeah.
and it grows into a plant.
Yeah, it's how you don't have to give in to the seed industry.
Yeah. So why can't I take a cut off my finger, just take off my finger, plant it? Why doesn't it grow me? What's that about?
Well, you're slightly misunderstanding what's going on. You and plants are slightly different in the way you could divide into other things. So let's look at that now.
Alright.
So, when you're a zygote, when the sperm and the egg have meet, they don't just form a perfectly mini human being that undergoes mitosis to be big.
That'd be cool if it did happen.
It would be.
But it doesn't. It starts as an undifferentiated cell.
It does. So you are just a thing. This is the zygote. So it's got the full number of chromosomes. The egg and the sperm have just met. What a wonderful date they went on.
Yeah, it's lovely. And they formed
An egg thing.
fantastical, tangible mass.
So we had a name for this type of cell because it could give rise to anything. A you, or a me, or that guy.
Hello. We call this a totipotent cell.
We do. So totipotent means it can do anything. It can divide into absolutely anything it wants to. And this will undergo mitosis a few times. And what it's going to do is it's going to make a whole mess of other cells that are also going to be totipotent because it's literally just replicating itself by mitosis. We'll draw 4, say. It probably won't just be 4, it could be a whole mess of them. But it's just going to undergo mitosis and produce identical totipotent cells. So these, if we get blue, are also the same thing.
Yeah.
So now we've got loads of them.
Yeah. And then they start specialising into different things. Because they can become anything, they start becoming things. Parts of you.
They do. So again, if we label this M for mitosis, this is also mitosis. But also, we have a name for this when it's becoming from these normal totipotent cells into more specialised things.
And that's cell differentiation.
It is. I'm going to put differentiation.
If you do maths, you're used to that meaning something slightly quite different, but in biology, for that cells.
So we now call this differentiation. I'll do it in blue. It's going to make a whole mass of them again. There's going to be lots more.
But some of them will do certain things, and eventually it will end up some of them being skin cells, and these sort of things can't become anything.
No, we have a name for these. If these ones are totipotent, we call these ones pluripotent.
They can become some things, but they can't become these, so that means they can't become everything.
Absolutely. And as you develop into a normal human being, you're mostly made of these pluripotent cells. So they're mostly specialised. You have skin, inside you've got specific things, they've made up organs, they've made up systems.
Yeah, the only place you actually have things like this is in your bone marrow.
It is, and in your bone marrow you have these are called stem cells.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you are.
And they can divide into red blood cells normally in your bone marrow.
Yeah, and these things don't have nuclei, so they can help carry more hemoglobin. You might have to know that as well.
Yeah, they may well need to know that. So let's have a quick look at what's going on when these things divide into more specialised cells.
Okay.
So stem cells, we'll say in the bone marrow, turning into a red blood cell. So to start off with, you've got in the bone, I'm going to draw bone. I'm really feeling artistic today, it's not looking good so far.
Well, I could believe that's a bone.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, not a good one.
It's not very good, is it? So inside you've got a stem cell.
Yeah, this is exactly how your bones look.
It is indeed. Now this undergoes mitosis and cell differentiation. So it's going to produce 2 other cells. I'm going to draw them in red and colour code.
That's a good idea.
What's that for you? So these are now specialised. How are they specialised from here? What's going on from this step to this step so that they aren't perfectly the same as this?
And it's also to do with what genes are activated or inactivated.
This one has all the genes, all of the things, so it could give rise to absolutely anything it wanted to.
In fact, all of them have all the genes.
Well, but yeah, God, they're so.
Yeah. But these ones, some are inactivated and some are activated, like in your skin, some are activated to let things through, permeable layers and stuff.
Absolutely. So when this goes from here to here undergoing mitosis, what we say is certain genes are switched on and the rest are off. So I'm just going to put genes switched on. You can think of it as genes switched off, either way.
Yeah,
it
never works.
Some of them are on, some of them are off, some of them are activated.
Yeah, and the ones that are activated make proteins that then have uses.
Because in here we're going to have things, transcription, to replicate your DNA.
Yeah.
So that these can then undergo further mitosis and whatnot, so it's going to produce proteins. And because only certain genes are switched on, only certain proteins are going to be made, this is going to be specialised. It's going to have the proteins of a hemoglobin cell.
But once it's done that, it then can't change what things are switched on or switched off, and that's why it's no longer a totipotent cell.
Yeah, so this could not give rise to anything else once it's there.
Yeah.
So that's why if you chop off your finger and plant it in the ground, your finger is made of almost entirely pluripotent cells. It's not going to make more you. Let's look at the example of plants though, that's interesting. Because plants are not quite the same as people. You might have noticed that by the fact that Trev isn't green.
Yeah, and I haven't got a flower sticking up my head.
Exactly. So what's different is the question. So I'm going to draw a beautiful flower because I'm still feeling quite artistic.
Oh, it's a blue flower. They're my favourite kind.
Well, I'm not very good at, I don't know why I drew a flower really, but there you go.
Yeah,
That's a flower. And you've got obviously the leaves coming off. Most plants have leaves. You've got roots coming down here, and these are all important in a minute. All these things.
Yeah.
So that's underground. So a lot of this, some of this is pluripotent. It's not going to divide into anything else. It's already specialised for particular functions, maybe absorbing sunlight in certain ways.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
But the edges of things can be able to do things.
Absolutely. So down the stem and in the roots and in parts of the leaf, we have stem cells. So they are the undifferentiated cells.
Yeah. That's why you can take a cutting. You don't take a cutting from anywhere. You take it from specific places,
Do
newly grown places, because these can then differentiate.
Absolutely. So when you take that off, then you're left with a cell. If you can get it one cell, you'll probably be left with loads of cells.
Yeah.
But they're all these stem cells. So
They'll
they can undergo their special mitosis, differentiation stuff, and again you get like a lovely plant.
Yeah. They'll realise where's the rest of the plant gone? Haven't got any roots anymore. Should sort that out, and then they do. It's pretty handy.
It's great. So that's why plants can do that, because there is a lot more stem cells in there.
Yeah.
I wish I was made of stem cells.
That would be quite cool.
Then I could like chop off my arm and then just grow another arm.
It's so great.
Then I'll have something to throw at people.